Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they played as karmic themes. This will allow you to understand why everything's playing out the way that it is. Very important when you're dealing with people that have a lot of spiritual wounds. They wear a lot of masks. They create a lot of illusions. They trigger us. We want to know how we can shape shift the energy because there's many different realities that play out at one time. Your level of consciousness depends on your core beliefs, and your core beliefs were determined by the experiences that you've lived. So the problem is that we live many experiences the same. We like it's the same experience. It's called a karmic loop. We tend to go through the same experiences that we are blocked in because we're able to then see our healing. We're able to see our growth. Hey, Andrea. So that's why you'll see karmic themes. That's why I like to do these readings, because it's not just about what your person's going to do and why they're going to do it. A lot of times we know that they have feelings for us. That's not the issue. We want to know why it looks the way that it does. We want to know what the entire spiritual significance of the relationship is. And if the person is only draining our energy, how we can actually cut the psychic cord, the cord that is where you feel that person's energy is always on you. Well, again, ESP through the heart and mind. So these karmic mates, they transcend many, many lifetimes, find you in many, many lifetimes. So a week, a day, a month is not really a lot of time. So you have to change in order to change the entire dynamic of the connection. A lot of times we don't realize that we're stuck in a karmic pattern. So these readings, I hope, not just allow you to give some peace of mind, but allow you to heal, right? To break karmic cycles that keep you in a place of limitation. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you have to obviously be open to getting a shadow reading, because part of the reading is going to be a shadow reading. Now, you also have to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out, and it's the underlining energy that tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing. Really important, again, when we're dealing with people that are wounded, because, again, they wear masks, create illusions, and they're living a reality that no one else is living. See, again, it's their reality because they went through that experience. However, it's not the reality that's actually unfolding in front of them at the present moment. People that haven't healed tend to, again, project a lot of their trauma and experiences that they have lived, but it's just not what's happening in the moment, which is really confusing to the person, especially if they're not a spiritual person and haven't done any healing. So the word of the video is unstructured. I don't like this word. And I'm going to tell you why I don't like this word. Because unstructured means then the person is commitment phobic. They tend to, again, they like the fact that you're not structured, that you seem to be like a free spirit. So in the fact that you tend to march to your own drum, this person has never met anyone quite like you before. And that's not just words. I feel like it's because you're a creative thinker. I feel like people don't normally say anything to this person. They don't stand up to this person. You don't have a problem saying anything to this person. You live by your own rules. So you are a creative person. You're an unstructured person because you do what you feel when you feel it. It doesn't mean that you don't do work. It doesn't mean that you're not disciplined in your own things that you need to do for yourself. However, you do them on your terms, where I believe that this person never lived that way. It's like they give the appearance that they do, but they don't. I feel like at work, they may be the face of being a boss or being in charge of whatever they're doing, but they're connected to other people that tell them what to do, how to do it, when to do it. They don't own their own life work wise. They don't own their own life any otherwise either. It's like I feel like this person doesn't have a lot of close relationships because of that, meaning they lose themselves. It's like people take advantage. So there's a sense that they don't like commitment because they lose themselves in relationships and not because they really want to do that. The highly sensitive person that doesn't know how to master their sensitivity unless other people's emotions. See, the difference between a healed empath and an unhealed empath. I feel like you're dealing with a person that's not a healed empath. So they feel what the other person wants and then they do it. And that was a survival mechanism for them growing up. However, like we don't want to do that as we get into our own relationships because we'll lose ourselves and then we'll feel bad to like try and then set boundaries, which I feel like this person is on a lower vibration. And they're on a lower vibration not because they're a mean person, but because they haven't learned to master their sensitivity. So there's a sense that you're also an empath, but tend to do things on your own way. So they can figure, oh, I could make this relationship work because like you're not going to be all about the rules and titles and that, which a lot of people again do, which puts pressure on this person. Now, to put pressure on a like a not healed empath is very overstimulating. And really unconditional love, there is no ownership, there is no expectation, and this person has that like, hey, I just doesn't mean that you don't piss me off from time to time, but I still have feelings for you, and vice versa. Like there is this energetic thing that is not structured. It's no rules because the spiritual realm, there is no structure. It just is. And so there is this whole dynamic that this person believes that they can have something with you. But I also believe that that's how the energy started, that there's a little bit of nervousness now. Like they fucked it up. Like maybe they can still have it, but maybe they can't. But one of the appealing things is they could see how they could be with you. And that's because they're looking at things only from their perception. Thing is, the more time that goes on that you don't talk to this person, the more that I feel like they drown in their emotions. This person doesn't know how to deal with their emotions. Again, they're not a healed empath. They feel like they drink a lot or they do something to suppress their emotions to not feel. So it's like this person, they need to learn how to communicate. They need to learn how to be transparent. I feel like a person like this, they're too afraid to let anyone see them. So they're not transparent. They won't really allow you to get that close, not because of anything you've done, but because this person was neglected. And in that, you're going to feel neglected by this person. And it's because of their own inadequacies. Almost like this person is so much in their head, like worried about the relationship. This is a person that would worry about the relationship to the point that they actually get in their own way and create the problems in the relationship because they don't pay attention to like what's really important. They're paying attention to like the spiritual blocks, like what might happen, what did happen, what could happen, what was happen, and in that the person's never really present. And so relationships are like a struggle for this person. And when you're with them, you're like, okay, I feel like it's a struggle. Like it's for us to even get off the ground. Like they get in their own way. They make things much more difficult. And they do. But if you don't know that there's someone that needs healing, you could take that really personally because you'd be like, okay, are you like toying with me? Are you playing with me? And I feel like then this person does create a persona. Again, the lack of will, because then they don't try. And that's why you're like, well, you also don't try. I feel like this person overthinks to the fact of, well, if I don't say anything, then you can't hold anything against me. It's not my fault. And if I don't do anything, then I don't do anything wrong. So it's again this very conservative, but it also shows that this person's heart is closed, right? And it's like it shows that they don't trust. Almost to the point that you would feel like, are you waiting for me to give you the time? Are you waiting for me to do everything? That's the energy that you would feel like. And in that you would be like, okay, well, now I really feel like the relationship's like declining because you're not putting in energy. So it's almost like you want, both parties want the other person to like, you got to show me something. You don't mind showing this person, but then there's also a sense that this person doesn't want to continue to do it. And then this person has been a player in the past, again, and they tend to talk to a lot of people as well. So then they show that they don't have like, they don't want a commitment. That's again, this unstructured is kind of that. So it's again, when we see many flames, I feel like this is a person that likes to keep their options open. So it's almost like a habit, and that's the persona that they create. And what we see is that this person doesn't even feel comfortable on a one-on-one. Never mind, that like you're going to talk to 10 people, but if you talk surface to every single one of those people, it's like what you're getting is you're getting a lot of people that are giving this person energy. So that's really what it is. So then they don't have to give anybody an energy. You understand? So it's almost like a narcissist that uh, that alternates their supply. Only this person is like deliberately not trying to like be in any type of relationship. It's like, and that's what it feels like to be in a connection with them. You feel like they always have one foot in, one foot out. Like they always have an exit plan. And that's somebody that goes into relationships and says relationships just don't work out for me. They don't work out. It's that I either lose myself, and they lose themselves, but then they revert back to who they are. And the way that they go about that is not mature, because we know and we see that they're not an emotional, intelligent type person. So it's, things don't need to be as bad as that they are. It's that things tend to snowball with this person because they don't communicate. So there's a lot of resentment, where then the person just feels like, okay, well, what are you, a player? Well, again, that's their persona. Their persona is, well, I do talk to a lot of people. I'm flirty with them because, again, I like the way that they make me feel, and that look how much attention that I get. But when you're dealing with them, you're like, so what, am I somebody serious, or am I just a conquest? Which is what it makes you feel like. But I don't really believe that this is what this person meant to do. This is what happens when a person has a spiritual wound. They either overcompensate or undercompensate. So they're emulating what they perceive. That's not coming from the true self, the higher self. So either this person overcompensates, where I'm going to show you how desirable I am. And in that, I'm going to give everybody else attention. Hey, isn't it making you jealous? Maybe you're going to say something to me eventually, that because, we're supposed to be having a thing. So logically, you should say something to me. And you're like, why the fuck would you do that right in front of me? It's like, it's an insult. The way that you take it is like, this is an insult. You're talking to a bunch of people, but I'm right here. You could be giving me the time. Well, it's again, no, but you're supposed to be chasing me. Don't I look desirable? Again, this is how distorted things become when a person is acting from that level of consciousness. It's again, they're trying to emulate. That's copy. That's not, it's like, it's not coming across that way though. This is how the person sabotages himself. rooted again, where it's like you want at this point it's not stable. You're like, I want stable. And what you feel like is that this person's not rooted in anything, and they're not, because they're not connected to themselves. When we are emulating other people and we're creating a facades and illusions, we're not in our body, actually being in the moment, being in the now, we're actually being in our imagination. And that's the problem. It's like this person's not in the moment. They're coming from past trauma. Why are they acting like this? Not because of anything you did. You just came into the situation. But baggage, how the person feels about themselves, how that trauma has, again, played out within their behaviorisms and mannerisms. Again, they can want love all they want, but all their actions are is that they don't believe that they can have it. And that's what trauma is. It's like person needs to get grounded. It's like where I feel like this person loses touch with reality, changes their mind often. Well, again, that's true. Where again, when a person has a lot of trauma, they're like in the fantasy. They're not in the now. That's why you don't understand what they're doing. But I feel like this person does alter their mood. So they may have a drug issue, they may drink a lot, smoke a lot of pot, do something to help them alter the way that they feel. Because understand, this person has spiritual block. It feels it's rooted, that root chakra, the adrenals are right there. The adrenals fight, flight, freeze. It's not being in the present moment, but not being in the now, worried again. And so when a person doesn't feel good about themselves, they do things to try to make themselves feel better. It goes along with the mask. So it's like that brings this person further away from who they are. So you're like, okay, as I'm getting into this relationship with this person, it's like they're getting worse. They're not getting better, they're getting worse. Because the more that they, have to grow feelings for you, the more that you're going to see behaviorisms like that, where this person will make you feel as if, like, again, you're not valued. But the truth of the matter is, this person really does respect you. Like I said, loves you just as you are. It's just they don't show you the time or the effort. And that's, again, where they get in their own way. That's a psychological reversal. Literally, it's like the person cannot get out of their own way. So it's not that they don't feel that, but that their actions are not lining up with what they truly feel. And so it's a spiritual issue. And if it's highly sensitive people that grew up in an environment where they were conditioned that there was something wrong with them. Again, they got overstimulated. Now it's time to perform. So anything that is really means something that's connected to love, the person, again, gets overstimulated. They don't do the right thing. They act from their past behaviorisms of survival. So again, their relationships were horrible. So until they actually integrate the spiritual issues, you're in a relationship with somebody that is in a relationship with you and like all the rest of the people that they haven't healed from yet. And that's the thing. So the relationship really, you may say, well, then what the hell's the point of the relationship? Well, it's a spiritual one. They don't make sense. It's again, logically, why am I attracted to someone that triggers the shit out of me? Understand, it's like the person is brought into your life by the universe because the universe is showing you where you're blocked. Like if that really triggers you a lot about this person, but understand it's a sacred connection. This person taps into you, you do feel soothing because you feel like home. But a spiritual connection is supposed to have good chemistry. It's, again, the familiarity. You know this person from a past life. They just didn't get it right in the past life. So they have a new opportunity in this life. That's how it works. And in any given time, the person can learn, can see things from a different perception, and do things differently. That's how we evolve into a higher state of consciousness. What you saw before is a lot of fear. Again, and that's because of how they lived and were programmed. But again, as I said, the relationship is timeless. The spiritual lessons are timeless. You know, it's more about creating stability in this lifetime, something that's lasting and stable. But that requires stability within ourselves. And this person, again, you came into this person's life, they're clearly looking at their own life and they're not liking it, you know, making them feel vulnerable. And that's not something that normally happens with this person. So again, showing that they need security. But really, what is a relationship? Relationship at its foundation should actually be giving security. So again, this person never came from an emotional standpoint before. Now the relationship is making them go in more into the spiritual. And that's when the universe, like I said, tends to get involved a lot. You just had enough of this person's like disrespect, because that's how you were taking it, you know, not knowing they were blocked or triggered, or maybe knowing it, but being like, well, you still need to do something about it, you know? So that these are your triggers. You felt like this person was cheating. Again, the many flames, but I don't feel that they were cheating. I feel like it was more or less like getting attention. So I don't have to seem so vulnerable to you. I don't need to be transparent. I look a lot more appealing. I look desirable. Now say something to me, chase me, make me feel loved, make me feel secure. Where you're like, why are you rubbing in my face that you're talking to other people? Like you look obnoxious, like where it's again, the person is coming and their actions are through the wound. So everything's distorted. And when I say distorted, it's like, you know, when you're driving and the side mirror says objects may seem closer than they actually are. So sometimes you look and you look like the car is like really close to you, and it's not. Well, that's like a wound. A person sees things through the wound, and it makes them either act where they give too much and they overdo it and they create the persona, and you're like, okay, you can tell that you're lying. Like it's like this couldn't be more obvious. Or they give no energy, none. And they just create this energy like they don't care. It's an overcompensation. That's what I feel like this person continually did, in hopes that you would give them energy. That's not what you thought. You were like, why would I give anything to you? You're not showing me anything. You're not creating any stable for me. And we keep going through this. It's not like I haven't said anything to you before. It's like the memory of it. I felt like I've already lived through this same exact situation, and it triggers me because it's like you're clearly not listening. Well, stuck in stupid, it's like the person still tries to put the square peg into the circle hole. If they knew how to be different, they wouldn't be creating all those personas and getting in their own way. However, the dynamic of the connection is a spiritual one, because Spirit's saying, I need for you to also be aware of things that you need healing in. Because you would say, so what the hell's the point for me? It's like that I'm attached. And what Spirit says, for every spiritual connection, everyone learns. But when you're in a karmic loop, which is like this, it's like that's what you're in. It's like, it's not that there's no feelings there. There are feelings. Why does it look like that is the issue. And the issue is because this person, again, needs to heal. And then you're like waiting for this person to be different. Like even with certain things that they would do They wouldn't apologize. Like doing things like as simple as that. I'm not going to show you vulnerability. I'm not going to show you weakness. I'm not going to show you a lot of the same narcissistic traits where it's again, I'm not going to show apologize because that makes me look like I'm at fault. That doesn't make me look perfect. I need to look perfect. I need to look a certain way. The repeated behavior. But narcissists are not strong people. Understand that. It's like, but you have to say, you may not know that they were a narcissist, or they may have narcissistic tendencies, which I should say. I mean, because at this point, it's all about control. It's all about dominant because the person doesn't feel safe within the side of themselves. So we know that narcissists are people that really need healing. So how they go about things is that they try to manipulate, they try to dominate, they try to control, and they try to create personas that they're very desirable. That's what this person did the whole time, in hopes that you were going to run after them, chase them, make them feel more secure, make themselves feel desirable, and without obviously giving you anything, which is what you were like seeing. You were like, well, I know what you're doing. You're deliberately not giving me attention. It's like because you want me to say something. But really, what you're doing is you're affecting the trust, and the connection, where I don't think that this person has ever had real authentic relationships. And I know that that sounds stupid, but relationships are something that happens over time. Trust is something that happens over time. This person's so caught up and worried about what they look like and whether they're going to get hurt and whether they're going to do anything, that they're not even in the connection. They're in their fantasy, they're in their trauma. And it doesn't mean that they don't have feelings for you. What it means is it's like they don't believe that they can have it. They don't believe that it'll last. They don't believe that you'll love them forever. That again, because that's the way they feel about themselves. And that's most likely because they grew up in an environment that told them that. And then they dated a few people that told them that. And then they were like, well, fuck it, I'm not going to care anymore because why should I bother? It doesn't work. And that's why it's really important that people learn to spiritually heal, because the body and mind are self-healing organisms. That's the way God made us. That's the way that the universe works. The universe always brings us everything that we need to support us. This person is only used to karmic contracts. And those are like, and being in a connection with this person, you would wind up in a karmic contract. So it doesn't mean that they don't love, but it's a very distorted type of love. It's one that you normally bind to, like, keeps you stuck to your childhood trauma, like reliving like a major trauma in your life. If it wasn't a childhood trauma, it was a major one that really affected you, and you keep reliving that over and over and over again because the person that you're connected to has that imbalance. So if you grew up with a narcissistic parent, like it would be like dating, like it would be like being with that parent, like very controlling, very like worried, everything's a trigger because this person hasn't healed, that, and that's the issue. So he said that having your voice is going to trigger this person, and this person doesn't really communicate. Again, anything that's going to make this person look bad, they're not going to do. So they have this avoidant behavior, and we all know what comes with avoidant. It's like, again, that's where the self-sabotaging behaviorism comes from, because it's like they can't live with the feeling and the guilt. They have to suppress it. It's not that narcissists won't feel, they're just masters of, suppressing it, whether they drink or they're not. And I shouldn't say, okay, maybe that's just an alcoholic, not a narcissist, right? Because a narcissist wouldn't care at all. But this person cares. But then they do stuff to suppress the feeling, the emotion, so that they don't have to. Talking to other people, there's also a little dopamine hit, right? So like it takes my mind off what I'm doing, how I'm acting. So again, not dealing with the healing that they need. And so then the worst part of it is again, now this person has feelings for you, but they have all these different feelings for you because, again, they're so blocked up. So now you have something good happen for you, right? This person's going to put themselves in competition with you. They're going to, again, try to bring you down. The spotlight, again, the spotlight's on you, that's showing that this person again makes them feel inadequate, where it's again, that's the problem when people need to spiritually heal. Your success doesn't have anything to do with this person's inadequacy, but again, they're with you and they want to be with you because they like all those things that you bring to the table, but they're not strong enough to be with you because again, they haven't done the work. Now, are they conscious of this? No, they're not conscious of it. It's like, and all you know is we've been down this road before. I feel like I live in this, like we're stuck in this karmic loop. And it's like the same thing, the same thing. Yeah, because unless they heal what they need to heal, that's what it's going to be. And so you say, so what the hell's the point? And it's like about forgiveness. Forgiveness for this person, again, if they grew up in that type of environment that made them like that, like very narcissistic. And for you, if you were raised with someone that was a narcissist, again, forgiveness. You can love someone and not, and you can love someone and forgive someone and not be with them, which is really hard because understand this could have been a good relationship, but this says more about this person than you. However, you have to say, yeah, but I just went through that. So what the hell was the point? And Spirit said, well, I have to bring you things and people to show you where you need healing. It's again, wherever you don't let the light in. Remember, you are me, just in physical form. You are unconditional love. But environments and past relationships, have changed you. Again, where you're wounded. So I have to bring people to you in order for you to become aware. So you're like, so what the hell do I need to look at? Spirit says card number 1, wonder. I like that card. You know why? Because it's the wonder in you and the wonder in the world. And when you get that, Spirit says, yeah, you weren't really allowed to do that. Someone told you who you are, what you were going to do. But again, giving this energy to this person, they again would tell you what to do and who to be because they would always put themselves in competition or they would never be an easy relationship. And they drain you of your energy. It's a narcissistic relationship, regardless of what this person means to be. But it's almost like narcissistic relationship that Spirit showing you from the spiritual perspective of what needs to be healed and why. So it's a little bit lighter than a lot of like the narcissistic readings that you'll see. But you have to say again, because you grew up with abuse, psychological abuse, emotional abuse, gaslighting. Again, growing up in survival. So were you like childlike? Spirit says, no, you were not like childlike. That's when children go out and they find themselves and they play and they're carefree. And no, that's not how you were raised. Instead, there was, again, I needed to be a certain way. And it's, again, I was abused psychologically, emotionally. And maybe your parent was just in a bad mood. It doesn't matter. It's how you looked at yourself. And if you were in that place of mind, you were very much in the same place of mind that this person that was connected to you is in. But then Spirit says, but worst of all, you weren't finding the wonders within you, the wonders within the world, which stirs up your heart, which stirs up your soul. But you have resilience. And that's strength. And you would obviously have to have that with growing up the way that you did, without the security and without feeling safe. Again, emotionally, like we're a society that never talks about that. But if a child is made to feel like bullied, or made to feel like, again, not safe, it affects them, where they don't create their life. And if we don't create our lives, we're actually replaying those tapes from the past, those experiences, those imprints, those samskaras that I was saying, the combination of astral energy and emotional energy from the experience that is imprinted on your subconscious mind. That is why you drew this person to you. And they didn't make you feel safe, but again, they brought out the gifts of resilience. And really, the child that survives thrives. So you always have the imagination, but Spirit says, I need you to embody the wonder, like, which means go and do things and connect to people first. It's, again, if you could be a good friend to a person, and a person could be a good friend to you, then they pass the test. But at this point, this person was all like one sided and was too busy with chase me and pay attention to me. And because they were living from their block, that they don't even realize how abusive that they were. It's, again, there's part of them because they're not awake. And that's what they people awake. And again, you drew this person to you mainly because of the abuse, again, and not feeling safe and secure within your relationship. And that could be emotionally. So again, if your mind was there, where wasn't it? The Spirit says, on creating yourself, finding the wonders in you. That's finding your gifts, finding what stirs up your soul, going out into the world, experiencing different things, connecting to different people. Spirit says, you don't even really know who you are. There's, again, so start off as, again, if a person could be a friend, or again, you could even have a friend that traumatized you, and wouldn't be uncommon if you have the spiritual wound within the second chakra, like that person does, which is all about friendship, trust, relationship, boundaries, to be able to go with the flow, knowing your energy from my energy. So again, starting off as friendship, where Spirit says that's a gift. Feel like you always knew how to be a good friend. So it's, again, that you got to create the security and the safety, because you have to reparent yourself in order to heal the abuse. We don't wait for someone to come into our lives to create that for us. We actually have to do it ourselves. And you have resilience to do that. It's something that was really strong. And you create the own anchor. Here we go again. We see more of the root chakra being connected to the physical world, the physical body, all physical elements of the physical world. Why? Because when you're actually connected to the higher self, which is a God part of self, which then you're getting your intuition. You're become an anchor for yourself. You become the support for yourself. And the support is the fact that you're never really alone. You have the higher self, which is the deity part of self. And if you listen to it, and it's to make sure that people are in alignment with your values. And you can tell if you form friendships with these people instead of go super fast. But it was all about creating your own security. And that could be, well, instead of giving time to this person, you needed to put time into, like, your job, finding a job, making more money, doing something to heal you. Imbalance goes to imbalance. So it doesn't matter where the imbalance is. Spirit says wherever you have spiritual blocks. So you could be someone that's the nicest person, but maybe you're not really happy in your job, and it's a little bit boring, and you don't have really a lot of other passions or any other thing that you're really excited about. Well, Spirit would say that's just as imbalanced as someone that's like a cheater. And you're like, a cheater? Cheater's like immoral, like it's not moral. And Spirit says imbalance goes to imbalance. It's like we only have two energies, love and fear. So we simplify it. So it's not all the time that you're a bad person. Like this person was not mature, but Spirit said, I needed to bring a person like that into your life to make you look at yourself to say, like why am I even connected to this person? Well, a person like is supposed to bring joy, supposed to bring you happiness. It's supposed to bring you some sort of emotional fulfillment, some security, some emotional security, right? Some make you feel safe, make you feel, you know, this person did the exact opposite. So again, Spirit's saying that's when you know to integrate the energy. And you might say, well, what does that mean? Find a job. And Spirit says, well, grow whatever it is that you're doing. So yeah, within work, within to create the stability for yourself, but it's also the passion for your life. And understand if you don't know what you want to do, it's because you haven't figured out the wonders within you, the wonders within the world. It's again, you haven't invested enough in you to be able to create the foundation for you to be rooted enough, for to be strong enough to create the security and safety yourself. But that's why this person, it was a reflection of what needed to be healed with inside of you. And actually you did the same thing for this person, because this person is not, they're not going to all of a sudden change in the relationship. They just want to do baby games. But I will actually pull and see what they're going to do. I don't know if I asked that. I just know that you had gotten to the point where it was enough, but it's only fair that we see whether this bozo is going to do anything. But when they usually have a big ego like this, it's usually no. But let's see. No, I feel like well, this person does want to alleviate their suffering, and they see that like you're someone that's very ethical. Again, this is your energy. So again, this person is going to communicate. It does say, okay, communication. It's again, they do want to communicate. Old habits die hard. It's again where family patterns stuck in the past. So it's almost like this person I feel like is going to talk to you, and they're going to talk to you about some of their their fears and stuff. And I feel like it's only because you're a really good person and you really have affected this person. But um, old habits die hard. So I don't really feel like they're going to do that much changing, but they're going to explain. They're going to talk. They feel the need to talk to you. Yeah, like I feel like it's like you're not going to take this person back. Like, because it's like, it's like this person is going to again tell you again and be a little bit of a martyr, not really take full responsibility, but they still want to talk to you. This is what I mean. It's not like they don't have feelings for you, but they're just not on a high vibration. They're not willing to really do the deep dive that they need to heal what they have to heal. So again, they have feelings. Maybe I can come back and give you like another little, which to them this it looks like this much because they don't give anything, their heart's closed. So it's like you're gonna look at it like you're a day late and a dollar short, and it's like you're like, I'm tired. It's like, and being that you're putting all your energy into like again creating yourself, creating that foundation, or that you should be like you're purpose driven and living out your dogma. And it's like just want to like give up on that connection because it's like I don't get anything from that, but I'm getting something from the energy that I'm pouring in over here. And Spirit says exactly, and you needed to clear those blocks that were created in childhood. And part of clearing them was to go through this situation and go through it and be like, you know what, I don't want this. I don't want this. It's too difficult. You make it too difficult. You don't do the healing. So you can have feelings for me all you want, but I would never be happy. And that's really what the story is about. That you, it's not that you don't have feelings, it's that you choose yourself, because you're like, this connection is too hard. It would be too difficult. It would never really get off the ground. I'm looking for those other cards. It would never really get off the ground properly because this person needs to do the healing. But it doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. It means that they'll always get in their own way. They'll always be triggered. They'll always be in those patterns. And this is the best that they can do. That's huge for them again. And they'll be like completely devastated. I came back and I really tried. And you'll be like, you didn't really try. You like came back. But to them, it's huge because they surrendered their ego, their armor. I came back. You know, I showed vulnerability. I don't apologize. And I came back. So again, huge for this person, and you being like, whatever. It's like, so Spirit says, manifestation of light. And so Spirit leaves you with this. See the beauty in yourself. Grow and develop your inner self in harmony with light and beauty. Free yourself from negativity. Your heart transforms. Your intellect shines and your inner light grows. So Spirit was saying again, this is you're manifesting right now. And part of that is that you need to be a clear conduit for Spirit to work through. Because when you're manifesting, it's not a one person job. When the student is ready, the teacher appears, the universe gets involved. And so you're co creating with the universe. This is God, because the universe is God. It's ubiquitous, it's everywhere. However, we have to be clear conduit to get that prana, which is chi, which is Holy Spirit. It's again, it's the energy that's got to work through us. That's our supernatural energy. And what Spirit was saying is that you have blocks from the abuse that you went through in childhood. So I had to bring you back to the situation so that you would obviously look at it and be like, what's worth it more? Maybe as a child, you took with a fixer in the family again, and you would try to, you gave up and you were the martyr, and like giving up, and now this was about you doing things differently. Remember, the universe will always give you the same karmic lesson, but you got to handle it different in order to thrive, because what helped you survive will actually block you when you encounter that lesson again. So the universe is like, we have to do this. We have to do this for you pass the test. You got to clear that in order for us to evolve, so that you can manifest, so that you can grow and develop your inner self, because that block is not, you're not a trauma, but understand your body and your mind are not going to say, oh, well, we're nothing if it's not developed. The reptilian mind will never do that. It'll say, we're dysfunction. Dysfunction is good. Like something wrong with us is better than nothing, because at least we're alive. It's like if we're nothing. So this is why transmutation is important. So Spirit's saying, you got this person to transmute that spiritual block that's been there for a long time. It's made you feel inadequate. It's made you feel a certain way. But understand, you put the energy in there, you integrate the spiritual lesson, there's no more spiritual bond over time, because you begin to, again, evolve higher and higher and meet different people and different situations that vibrate now on your vibration. And this person eats the karma, because they have to. Spirit says, well, it's again, they won't eat the karma until that you actually get up to that next level. And they're like, oh, well, see, my life could have been like that. Look how good that life is. You know, it's like, Remember, they're still not healed. So look what I don't get. Not like, oh, look what I did. It's like, look what I missed out on, which is kind of how this started. They're already being like that. But being that you're putting more and more energy, this person feels you're leaving them behind and can see that things are going to happen and they're not going to be a part of it because they got cocky. They wanted you to chase them. And so, again, you learn the spiritual lesson. And that's what some relationships are just about. Unfortunately, it's like, yeah, this was like a dud kind of relationship. And Spirit says it was an essential relationship for you to clear. It's again, and we wouldn't stick around long enough unless there was an emotional connection. You passed that test in this lifetime. This person didn't pass the test because they could have stepped it up and been a better version of themselves. But instead, they wanted you to do all the work due to their past issues. They don't want to do the healing. So, most likely, they would just continue to, be with lower hanging fruit that'll put up with it and not be in any commitment at all because they don't really feel like they can have love and live from that persona that they're, big, badder, and, a bad girl, a bad boy, that they have this persona because really what's underneath that persona is that they're terrified. They need to do the healing. Now, I don't know if I mentioned to you guys that anything of any importance or relevance in the channel you can find in the description box, including the word of the video, because I'm completely forgot. I'm going to need to rewind the video in order to remember, but I will have it in the description box for you. I will also have my big secret that I am launching. It's all about healing. It's all about changing the way that we do healing. Is something that I've been working on for over 30 years. I had it up for a little while, then I tore it down, connected with other people, and redesigned it again. But I'm really excited about it. So I'm going to have a link in the description box as well as the first comment, and it'll bring you to the wait list. You'll be one of the first to find out of the unveiling. I'm really excited about it. It's really changed me. Healing is possible. Just know that you were made to heal. Your body and mind are self-healing organisms. You just need to understand how to heal. And that'll allow you to quantum jump into the reality that you want to experience. That's how you break karmic cycles that keep you in a place of lack and limitation. I want to thank all of you guys for being here and sharing your energy with me. It means so much to me, especially that my husband's passed away 4 months ago, and you guys really have helped me through. I mean, and it's been a rocky roller coaster of a ride. So, I'm learning too. It's all about, one step at a time, being in the moment, being in the now. And that's hard to do when you're emotional. But again, me having to show up here for you guys, again, helps me through it. So thank you for your comments. Thank you for your support, and that's all I can say about that. All right. I'm going to get going, but might try and post up a video for you guys later. If I have the energy, I'm not sure. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.